what has been the mindset shift that you have experienced here at Heartletics so far?
We've been working on mindset for a long time. And even at the last retreat that we had, I noticed that my self-limiting beliefs are better than what they used to be.
It's like BP was saying, I got to get out of my own way sometimes. But the self-confidence has totally changed also.
Yeah.
So the just kind of how I see myself. I mean, I was confident before, but in everything else other than me.
Yeah.
So it kind of ties into that self-limiting belief again.
I think before I started, I was I'm always kind of sarcastic, but I think I let that tone sort of rule my day to the point where I could be perceived as being like more negative. I think nowadays I'm a little bit more positive and have a little bit more positive outlook and try and bring more good into the world than bad. And I think that's since I started the program.
I think my confidence is up quite a bit in myself.
Before I was never like conscious of what I ate or be like, oh, F it, who cares? Well, now we're both more conscious of like, oh, well, we know we don't want that, so let's not go down that road or do it minimum, or try to get back on track the next day.
Well, honestly, I'm just gonna say I'm a whole different person from where I was when I started to where I'm at now. Lacked self-confidence, lacked courage to step outside my comfort zone. And Paralympics has given me all that. I've been, stepping outside my comfort zone and succeeding in everything I try to do.
I don't know. I think for me, it's a matter of discipline and knowing that there's things that need to get done, whether that's a workout or tracking calories, or if it's something for work or whatever else. It's about discipline. And before, if I slept in or if I didn't feel like going to the gym, okay, so be it. It doesn't matter. Now, if I miss a workout because I'm traveling or because I'm with my dad or whatever else, it eats at me. It's like, and I know that there's mercy and grace and all that, but it eats at me when I miss something. Not because I feel like I have to do it, but because I want to do it. I want to be in the gym. I want to be doing this stuff.
Yeah, kind of like Coach Mike there. People that knew me before I started would say I'm a completely different human being now in the last couple of years and it's night and day. I was so negative, especially to myself before starting this. I found nothing good in this world. It was sunshine and rainbows outside. I didn't care because it doesn't do anything for me, but now it is completely different. Like Bill said, I like to try to bring as much positivity into this world as possible now and talk about myself to myself way more positive than I used to.
Okay, so there was a study done in 1994 with this Dr. J. Bruce Mosley, okay? And this was one of the coolest experiments ever. And the reason why, once again, I want to bring this to you guys' attention is because we go over not just losing fat, building muscle, building strength, working out, nutrition. The foundation is always the mindset. And I love doing research on specifically case studies like this to just help you guys see what your mindset can do for you. And as we go for this presentation at the very end, you're going to gain some skills here, right? About learning more about yourself more than ever when it comes to just sharpening your mindset and helping you once again with staying more consistent, building more strength, but also just having better results, in my opinion, on your health and fitness journey. Okay, so here was the experiment, okay? In 1994, Dr. Mosley, he ran a study with 180 men who had painful knees from arthritis. And a lot of these guys were actually veterans, okay? So, if you think about it, being in the military, boot camp, everything like that, going out to war, right? Their knees were banged up. Now, out of this 180 men, he ran 3 different groups. Pay close attention to this, guys. Right? One group was actually real surgery. They go in, they cleaned out the knee, they shaved up the arthritis, right? They helped them out, okay? Now, the second group that they ran out of the 180 men was flushing only. So what they did was pretty much, they just washed the knee joint. They didn't fix anything at all, okay? And then the last one, this one is great, was a fake surgery. Okay. The doctors made cuts on the knees so it looked like they had surgery that actually happened, but it never actually went through. They just cut open that knee, made a small little cut, and that was it, right? The patient was out. When they woke up, mentally, they thought they actually had the surgery when they never did. So here's what happened, okay? All of these men were checked on because this was a case study for the next 2 years. And out of the 2 years, take a look at this. The surprise, all three groups had the same results. Okay. They felt exactly the same. Even the men who had the fake surgery said their knees felt better, just like the ones who had the real surgery. And guys, this isn't the only study that I brought to you guys' attention. If you guys remember, I talk often about, you use visualization, i.e., right, playing the piano. There's been plenty of studies like that where guys will sit down, close their eyes, visualize themselves playing the piano, and guess what? Their performance increases. Same thing with guys shooting a three throw, right? With basketball, right? Different case studies, guys that's actually shooting a basketball compared to guys that just visualizing it. Hey, their performance both increased. This is actually surgery, right? I mean, this is just going over, not even visualizing. We'll get to that in a little bit, but this is just going over, once again, your mindset and the power that, man, I think I had surgery, even though you never did, but yet you get the same results, even though you never got the surgery, okay? So this is what it proved. The study showed that the surgery didn't actually help more than the fake ones, okay, than the fake surgery. This meant that people were getting mostly because they believed the surgery would work, right? How often, maybe in the past, have we tried cutting out carbs, or we tried this diet, or tried Weight Watchers, or any other thing that's out there, right? Because we've seen case studies that it's going to work, right? Very similar to, let's just say, Roger Bannister. Nobody believed he could run the 4-minute mile, right? Until he actually proved that it was possible. And then sure enough, other people have been able to complete it. So it just goes to show you, right, with your mindset, you can trick it into your own favor when it comes to improving on your own mindset, okay? And that's what we're going to go over here in a little bit. So we're going to continue down. Why does this matter? Okay, it says here, it proved how strong the placebo effect can be and how the mind can truly affect healing. It made doctors and insurance companies question if this surgery was even needed to begin with. And it helps save people from ongoing unnecessary surgery. Okay. So I asked ChatGPT, all right. So based on this information, what does it show about the power of our own minds? And this is what it says. The mind can influence the body in real physical ways. Even though no real surgery was done, people felt less pain, moved better, and believed they were healed, all because they thought they had the surgery. This shows that the brain's belief can trigger real changes on how the body feels and functions. So it says here that belief can create results. Keep that in mind, guys, right? The whole entire reason why we're talking about this is, once again, your mindset, which is going to help build more confidence within yourself, which is going to equal better results on your own health and fitness journey. When we believe something will happen, or excuse me, will help us, like treatment, diet, or workout, our brain often starts acting as if it's already working. Keep that in mind, right? You first believe it, right? And then you see it. Okay. This is very important. It's not just in your own head. The brain can release chemicals. Now we're getting our body involved. Okay. Lower pain, boost mood, improve motivation, speed up healing. So what does this mean? It doesn't mean that you can think your way out of an illness or an injury, right? Because obviously there is going to be some action stuff that we're all going to need to take, but it does mean that your mindset can help make treatments more effective, help you with recovery faster, and help you push through challenges and improve your overall health. So bottom line, the experiment proves that your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations have real power. If you believe you're getting better, your body often starts moving in that direction. I want you guys to think about this, okay? Henry Ford said it best, and I use this quote all the time. Whether you think you can, whether you think you can't, you're right. And I want you guys to start saying that to yourself over and over again each and every day, especially on the days that you don't feel like showing up, right? And we're going to go over what to do on those days when you don't feel like showing up here in a little bit. But just think about that quote. from Henry Ford. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. So I asked ChatGPT, I said, let's get a little bit more into the specifics here, right? On our health and fitness journey. So I said, is there a way to relate this to someone who is on their fitness journey trying to lose weight specifically? Can they also use their minds to help them be more successful? If so, please provide 10 tips on how someone can use their own mindset to help them succeed on their fitness journey. So here's what we got, guys. It says here, so your mind can use, excuse me, so you can use your mind to help you lose weight. 100% yes. Your brain controls your motivation, your confidence, discipline, and your belief in success. So now it's about figuring out how can we actually use our own mindsets in our own favor. We got 10 different tips here, guys. The first one, believe that you can. If you don't believe you can lose weight, you won't give it full effect, okay? Full effort also, So say this daily. I'm becoming a healthier version of myself today, not tomorrow, not next week, today, right? Start brainwashing yourself for success when it comes to this, okay? This goes back to also a lot when it comes to career status or making a leap forward and maybe starting your own business, okay? You're always going to take the right action steps if you believe that you're going to be successful, okay? But oftentimes it stops us from taking track, right? It stops us from starting a business, taking that leap forward on our career, or maybe just even our own health and fitness journey. If we don't believe that we're going to be successful, we're not going to take the first action steps. So step number one in all this, before we get anywhere, you have to believe that you can change. Number two, you guys know I'm a huge fan of visualizing, huge fan of visualization, okay? And you need to visualize your specific success. So it says here, picture yourself with more energy, wearing clothes that fit, feeling proud in the mirror. Visualization helps your brain feels like it's already happening, okay? And that's key because if you can fake it till you make it, and we're going to get into what that actually looks like here also on this presentation, you are going to be figuring out so many extra cheat codes on your health and fitness journey from right there because you're literally telling your mind, right? Like, this is what I see. This is what I'm projecting. This is what I want. Okay. We all pretty much got smartphones. I got an iPhone. Okay. Guess what? Steve Jobs, he had to first see this in his head. Okay. These laptops, these computers, Wi-Fi, all this stuff, right? Somebody first had to see it in their head before it materialized. The same thing with you on your own health and fitness journey. You need to see it in your head first. And this should be a daily routine, especially in the morning for everybody. Number three, focus on progress, not perfection. Okay. Don't ever aim to be perfect. Aim to be consistent. The small wins, they add up all the time, guys. I say this all the time. Don't focus and be obsessed with your goals and putting them on a pedestal because the minute you fall off track, with often it just happens, right? We all have bad days. It's just the reality of it. But when we're so focused on the perfectionism, right? And we fall off track, hey, we shoot ourselves in the foot and we don't ever want to get right back on track. But when you focus on the progress, it's a lot easier to get right back on track after you fell off. Number four, use positive self-talk, okay? Some people hate affirmations. Some people love affirmations. I'm just going to tell you, right, like affirmations have changed my life. And big shout out to Dennis, Coach Dennis, for making an affirmation board because every single day I get to read those simple affirmations with my own 6-year-old son, and I'm a huge fan of just positive self-talk. You have to learn how to be your own best friend, right? And you have to learn how to have this talk within yourself because you can really, really use that for your advantage. Think about it like this, right? Michael Jordan, for example, the greatest basketball player of all time. Many of you guys know this. Some of you guys don't know this, but he was actually cut from his high school basketball team. Now, during that time when he was cut from his high school basketball team, I'm sure, right, being the coach, right, like that did not make him feel good, right? Knowing that his coach cut him and he wasn't able to play. I'm sure some of his friends, his peers, some of his other, basketball teammates, when he got cut from the team, they probably all thought like, man, this dude sucks. He ain't good at all. But guess what? I'm pretty positive that Michael Jordan, right, would start saying stuff to himself. He believed, hey, that he can overcome this. He can get back on the team. He can improve his basketball skills. If you guys want to go watch a great documentary, it's over on it's on Netflix, all about Michael Jordan, The Last Dance. And you can see like this dude was obsessed with greatness, but more so, he cared about his own self-belief more than anything. He believed it in himself. He knew it to be true. And you guys can simply do that by, once again, changing the words and the thoughts that you're telling yourself. Number 5, set small achievable goals. And this is so important, guys. Okay. If let's just say your sedentary job, you sit down a lot and you can only get in, let's say 2,000 steps a day, I don't recommend shooting for 10,000 steps. Start small, make it 4,000. If you're trying to lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds, whatever the case may be, hey, that's great to have that goal. Keep it there. But let's aim for like a pound of weight loss per week, something that's a little bit easier to achieve. Okay. So start with these small goals. Number 6, be patient with yourself. This often goes with, once again, having grace for yourself as well. We're all going to fall off track. I did Jimmy's check-in. I told him, I said, man, listen, I've been doing this for so long, right? I've been in great shape for literally over 12 plus years now, and there's times where I fall off track, but it's all about, once again, the words that we're saying ourselves, having this consciousness and awareness, right? But most importantly, grace within ourselves to just say, hey, it's okay. One bad day isn't going to kill us. Just like how there's 365 days out of the year, if we just wrapped up 65 of those days as just off days, holidays, cheat days, anniversaries, birthdays, celebrations, sick days, travel days, right? Days where we're just injured, we're not showing up, whatever the case may be. If you can just mark up 65 of those days and focus on being really, really good, right around point, at least 1% better each and every day for 300 of those days, that's a great year. Okay. But oftentimes, once again, we shoot ourselves in our foots because we're our own worst enemy. Because when we fall off track, we're not patient with ourselves. We don't give ourselves grace. And you guys want to know the reason why we don't do that? It's because of this right here. We're not talking to ourselves. We're not trying to become our own best friends. If you actually loved yourself and cared about yourself, if you fell off track, do you think you're going to be hard on yourself? Probably not. I mean, let's just replace you with your friend. If let's just say your friend was trying to lose weight, they're working out, they've been doing it great for, let's say, 4 weeks, okay? And then all of a sudden, like, they had a bad weekend. They fell off track, right? And then Monday comes around, right? They're telling you about how they fell off track on the weekend. Do you think you're going to tell your best friend, like, man, you suck. You're never going to lose weight. Like, you can't be consistent. Like, look at you, like you're a failure. No, of course not. You're going to tell your friend, dude, you just had a bad weekend. It's perfectly fine. Just get right back on track. Give yourself some grace. What do you think would happen with you within your own health and fitness journey if you start telling yourself that and started treating yourself like your own best friend? I bet you anything, right? Better results. Let's continue on. Number 7, and this is, in my opinion, the secret sauce, right? When it comes to actually reaching your goals and maintaining your results. I see from time to time, right? Guys come to this program, they get great results, they leave within 6 months to 12 months. Guess what? They're back to square one. They regain all the weight right back. Why does that happen? It's because they're not surrounding themselves with people that actually support them. Plain and simple. There's no accountability, right? So what happens is they'll have one bad day and they're just like, oh, okay, it's all right. It's just one bad day. They'll try to get right back on track. And then sure enough, a few weeks, it turns into 2 bad days, get back on track. Sure enough, a few more weeks, turns into 3 bad days. Next thing you know, right, they're building consistency when it comes to constantly falling off track, right? They stop tracking. They stop progressing. They're not tracking their progress photos or their body stats, right? Because they don't have access to the Heartletics app anymore. And what happens? Right? They completely go back and reverse, right? And they go back to square one. And that's why I'm always telling you guys, if you want to get the best results from inside this coaching program, be involved in the community group, right? It's not just so that way, hey, there's people to talk to and all this stuff. It's for your own well-being, because I've seen the sign after doing this since 2017, coaching thousands of people. The ones that leave, they fall off track because there is no accountability, no community, no support. Keep that in mind. Number 8, turn setbacks into learning. Very important, right? We all go through challenges. And this is why it's so important to, once again, understand that, like, these are just bumps in the road. But often, right, like little bumps in the road, if we want to say it as failures or setbacks, we need to change the script, right? Fail, as in what Santa would always say, is first act in learning. And treat that as like a block right there, which means sometimes these challenges and setbacks are actually opportunities for us to step forward and overcome, achieve more success within ourselves mentally and emotionally, because we're able to overcome those setbacks, overcome those hurdles because how we're looking at them is now as an opportunity, right? And we have these failures, these failures, these failures, these failures, right? Are stepping stones to success. You got to keep that in mind, okay? Number 9, practice gratitude daily. I really like what Bill said about how before Heartletics, he was very negative. Now he's more positive, right? And a huge thing to help you guys just be more positive is gratitude, right? It does not take a lot of effort at all to simply just think about some things or maybe writing it down. What are you grateful for? But think about this. Gratitude shifts your focus from failure to progress. Number 10, okay, and this is a huge thing for most of you guys, and I really hope that you guys pay close attention to this. And this is why I'm such a big fan of visualizing, okay? Act as if you're already that healthy person, okay? Think about it like this. If let's just say you get injured, okay? And you can look at it as, oh man, this sucks. I can't go to the gym. I can't work out. Ba, 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 ba. Next thing you know, negative, negative, negative. That might bleed off into bad eating habits. That might bleed off into not being consistent with all your other habits. And that might be completely hurting you guys. But if you just took a moment, the next time, let's just say you're injured and you said, what would the 2.0 version of myself do in this situation right now? Right? Like they already have the success, they already have the body, they already have the mindset, the perseverance, the right habits. If they got injured, what would they think? What would they do? How would they overcome this challenge? That right there, my friends, game changer. Because you start looking at it from a whole different perspective. You don't look at it from where you're currently at right now. You start looking at it from that person that you're trying to become. And that's why you need to focus on, once again, rewriting the script, right? Visualizing who is that person you're trying to become, right? Get to know that person. How do they think? How do they act? How do they look? Everything. Because when life does throw you challenges, you have a much easier time looking at that person, okay? Now, final thought on this before we continue on. Your body follows where your mind leads. Change your mindset, change your habits, change your life. It's that simple. So we often, right, go through the good wolf, the bad wolf a lot. In fact, that's one of the first things I tell everybody on their check-ins here, okay, when they first get started is, hey, who are we going to feed today? The good wolf that wants us to succeed or the bad wolf that wants us to become a failure, you know? Whichever wolf that we start feeding more and more and more, that's the wolf that's going to win the battle, and that's how you're going to get the results. So I asked ChatGPT, how can we use our minds, right, to overcome any kind of negativity or doubt from the bad wolf? So that way we can have a much easier time staying consistent on our fitness journey and staying on track. So obviously you guys know, right, the bad wolf. In case you guys don't, right, it is an old story, right? There are these two different wolves, vicious battle going back and forth. The grandson sends to his papa, his grandfather, you know, papa, hey, which wolf wins? The grandfather looks down at his son and says, whichever wolf that you decide to feed. Plain and simple. And these are some of the lies that the bad wolf often feeds us, right? You're too tired. One cheat won't hurt you, right? You'll never stick with this. Why even bother? You always quit. Once again, negative self-doubt. And this is why it's so important to talk more positively to you guys, okay? So here are 8 mindset tips to help you beat the bad wolf and stay on track. Number 1, name the bad wolf, right? We actually did this exercise not too long ago, and I encourage all you guys to do this. Give that bad wolf a name, because if you're not, like, think about it. If you can identify that bad wolf, it's much easier to say, that's the version, right? Or that's the negative thoughts that I'm trying to avoid right now. If let's just say growing up, right, you had some enemies or you had some bullies. I had a lot of bullies, honestly. Like when I was in middle school and I was fat and getting picked on and made fun of, there were some people that bullied me, right? Like I purposely avoided them. They made me feel bad. I knew their names. I knew how they looked. What if you guys gave the bad wolf a name, right? So that way you know who they are and you can avoid them. Okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, talk back with truth. Okay? So this is once again going back to affirmations. And when it says here that when the bad wolf says you're not good enough, this is when you got to learn how to speak up for yourself. And when you have more confidence, when you start working on your mindset more and more as you progress through this coaching program, right? It becomes a lot easier to say those affirmations, to speak back to the bad wolf and say things like, I've already come this far. I'm getting better every day. Okay. You don't need to argue with emotions, fight back with facts and affirmations. Let that sink in, guys. Number 3, use the 5-second rule. Okay. When doubt kicks in, simply just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Mel Robbins, she is, I like to say, the person that coined this, okay, and really got it on and popping, where she did different studies and she found out that just astronauts and, anybody down in NASA that would just use that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Houston takeoff, whatever the case may be, that does something to your mind, right? We're already programmed that as we count down, we need to do something, right? So if we can just simply say to ourselves, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, we're going to start putting our foot in the next motion towards where we're trying to get to. And especially for some of you guys that love hitting the snooze button, all you have to do is literally just say this. Close your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Say that out loud or say that in your head. And I bet you anything, right? You're going to feel a little jolt of energy and it's going to help you just get your foot right out of bed, okay? Number 4, have a why that makes you cry. I love this. Okay. We talk so much, guys, about the importance of having a strong why. If you look at a big tree, right, you have your, the roots and everything that's at the very bottom. You have the trunk that's right there, and you have the branches. And let's say the branches are your goals. Let's say that the trunk, right, the base of that tree, let's say those are your daily habits. But now, if there's no roots that's underneath the ground that nobody can see, well, guess what? If a snowstorm comes and a big windstorm, but there's no roots underneath the ground, what's going to happen to that tree? It's going to fall over. And this is why it's, once again, we need to have a strong why. Now, if you have a why that makes you cry, think about how powerful that is, because that's going to get your mind and your body moving in the right direction. Number 5, back to gratitude. Shrink the bad wolf with gratitude. When negativity creeps in, pause and list 3 things that you're thankful for: your body, your effort, your day. Gratitude, once again, shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible. 6, create a wins list, right? Daily wins report on the app. Most of you guys are currently doing that right now inside the community group, and I love it, right? By me just personally doing that, I can only speak for myself. Maybe you guys can speak for you guys, but like I can honestly say, just by creating that wins list has helped me out tremendously when it comes to not only having more confidence in myself, but most importantly, staying more consistent. When I'm posting my non-negotiables for tomorrow, doing that daily wins report, guess what? I'm putting it out there, right? Like I'm saying, hey, I'm going to do this, and I stick with it, plain and simple. But before I'm even posting my non-negotiables for tomorrow, I'm posting my wins. I'm taking a chance to be a little bit more prideful within myself, right? And what does that do? Hey, we're seeing once again how successful we are, even if it's the smallest things. What are 3 things that we just did throughout the course of the day? We can chart it up as a win, right? Because we're reprogramming our subconscious mind to look for more success, look for more abundance, instead of all the things that we're missing out on, instead of all the negativity, okay? 7, visualize feeding the good wolf, right? So before bed or after waking up, close your eyes for 2 minutes. This does not take long at all, guys. Picture yourself stronger, leaner, healthier, full of confidence, full of energy. Imagine that version of yourself, right? Choosing discipline over comfort. You're showing up, okay? Visualizing is one of the best things that you guys can do for your mindset. Number 8, okay? Accept that the bad wolf never fully goes away. And that's the reality. And this is why, going back to what I said earlier about guys will come in this program, get amazing results. They leave the program. They eventually go back to your old ways. That's simply because, once again, that bad wolf never leaves. Now, you can go into war all by yourself with a small little pistol, right? Against a big army. I don't think you're going to be successful. That big army is typically the bad wolf. It knows your insecurities, it knows your self-limiting beliefs, and it knows how to tempt you. It knows how to make you feel self-doubt. But when you have other people going out to war with you, encouraging you, empowering you, helping you stay on track, helping you stay consistent, holding you accountable, guess what? That battle is a lot easier to win, right? Just like playing basketball. if you want to go ahead and play basketball 1-against-5, I don't think you're going to win that game, right? You can be Michael Jordan, but if you're versing 5 other guys that's in the NBA, hey, guess what? Like you're going to lose every single time. Or you can have your teammates with you. You can have a community with you. Because once again, that bad wolf never goes away. Final reminder, guys, you're not weak for hearing the bad wolf. You're powerful every time you don't let him win. The more you practice feeding the good wolf through positive self-talk, action, and purpose, the more consistent and unstoppable you're going to become on your journey.